Welcome back to Sipa Spimmer Garage. This time we continue working on my E36. On the last video I was installing white body kit for the car, and this time we won't continue on that, but we will do suspension overhaul. I don't remember if I mentioned this on the previous videos, but the brakes on this suck really badly, and the 10-year-old coilovers are quite soft and worn down. So I was planning to update the brakes to E36 331s and then throw in new coils. But that quickly escalated to full suspension overhaul, so let's get working. Epäilen. Jos ei muutenkaan.
Ei hirveästi voi vikkaan mennä tällä. Kyllähän ne menis vaan. Mulla oli tuolla laatikossa käyttänyt.
No mennäänpä sitä sitten.
Vette se kasaan.
Niin. Kyllä. Mennään tuossa. Kumpi oli sinne? Jaha, kun kooli jäi.
Aika rohkeasti vääntää. Kai se taas nöyrtää.
Tää vittu, lähti pyörimään.
No joo.
And here is what we are going to replace that with. So these are E46 330 diesel trailing arms that I got for €50. Same as 330i has. And these are basically identical to E46 3.2 M3 trailing arms. The reason I bought these is that the 330 brakes are bolt onto E36, but the handbrake parts won't fit. To get that working, the easiest thing is to upgrade to 330 trailing arms that I have here. These also came with these new brake shields. And if you don't know, the added benefit of the 330 trailing arms is that the bearing and the hub is bigger in these, so you can use the bigger axles that have the 94mm CV. This one here is the 330 diesel axle that is actually still stuck here. These bigger axles are generally used with the Type 210 diffs. Thought I don't have that and I don't need. I only have the basic Type 188 diff that you can actually use with the bigger axles using the M3 stubs on the diff. But I don't need the bigger axles either, so I have the two X3 left side axles there. Those have the big 330 outer end, but the inner end has the same 86mm bolt pattern as the Type 188 diffs. And the left side length is same as E36 axles have, so those should be bolt on for my setup. But now we need to strip these down and fix these. Vähän mitään.
Se kun sitä sivuuput tuolta kulkusta se. Se oli ihan vaaterissa se.
Niin oli, ettei kuulu mitään semmoista paluuta sille ilmalle sieltä.
Hei, tää on tuo paine-ilma, niin...
Ei, nämä itse kinkat näyttää puslan paikkaa lukottavat oli ihan kohtuullisen, vaan kaikki muu on kyllä ihan paskana tästä.
Kaikki meillä on aika paskoja.
Niin on. Ottakaa minä teen tuon vitun moraksenkin väärälle puolelle. Tääkö lähtenyt nukkumaan? Jes, melkein lenti silmään. Saatana, mikä tästä palaa? Kai. Saatana. Viitsä se lähti. Vittu yllätti vaan.
Aukastiin vähän, että tuo tuhkaluukku tuli irti, kun niin paljon.
Joo. Otettiinko sitä 3 kottikärrellistä sillä? Tänään arkeologisia kaivauksia tehdä tässä. I wish I would have this tool when removing those bolts, but I didn't. But anyways, this is shipment from this video sponsor Weaver. So this is new tool for this garage. So let's open this box and we'll see what we got. You probably already guessed that when working with the rusty bolts, but yeah, let's open this. So yeah, this is induction heater to loosen up the rusty bolts. Back in the day, these used to be really expensive. I never could have afforded one. But nowadays, these are quite cheap. And this Weaver one, this is like exceptionally affordable. So yeah, not an expensive piece of own. This seems to come several of these heads. So these are basically the ones that you will put around the bolt. And this thing will just pass so much current between these coils that will just melt the bolt and you can open that. Let's see what we got here. These are some thumb screws. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I will check the manual how to use that and let's try this quickly. Okay, this seems to be a really simple one. So these are the coils. And then there's these two thumb screws you use to mount these, and pretty much that's it. There are 6 different coils, 3 different sizes, 2 of each, and then there's 2 of these that you can shape to your liking. So yeah, I think that should be plenty. But I have now mounted that one, and let's see how this works. So these bolts, these have been on for 50 years now, and these are now basically solid piece in this. So let's see if we can melt that, or well not melt, get that red hot and maybe open that and see how this tool works. Okay, it's really hot, so let's try opening it. Easy. So this tool seems to do what it's supposed to be doing. This will be good addition for the garage. Let's hope that we don't need to use that with the E36, but if we do need, it's good to have this. But let's continue with the real trailing arms. These of course had few snapped bolts, so I had to drill those out. Then I took the trailing arms to be power coated with the other parts I had. And those came out great. Time to start assembling these. Time to install these really nice MRT Engineering bushings for these trailing arms. So for the front, we have this offset bushing here that we can install basically in 2 ways. So in this way, when you lower the car, it will correct the angle of this trailing arm. But I will install this another way, like this. So that basically now improves the anti-squat geometry. So in combination with this bracket here that we have here, up, like this. So basically this is the stock setting. And when we raise up the mounting point for this trailing arm, like this, it will improve the anti-squat geometry, which basically should improve the traction under acceleration for the car. So that's the way I'm going to install these front bushings. Then for this back, I have also these offset bushings. I think there's 4 ways that you can install these. Both of these can be upwards and downwards. And there was a chart on the MRT Engineering instructions. And I think it was like this. If you install these, that will raise the roll center 8 mm or something like that. So that basically will help with the cornering of the car. So when you raise the roll center, the chassis doesn't lean on the corners like it used to be. So yeah, I will probably install like this if I read the instructions correctly. And these use these really high quality uniballs and that you can actually replace if these go bad. But at least on my E30, these haven't gone bad yet. So yeah, these are really high quality and this should be fairly easy install, at least now when I have this power coded and everything. So let's try putting this on. Only problem is that these trailing arms, these are quite unknowing shape, so it's always a struggle to get these on the press. But Yeah, let's try. By the way, I forgot to mention that you need to use Loctite when installing these. Okay, slight problem that I didn't notice previously. So this is the E36 handbrake cable, and this uses this kind of pin locking for the mechanism. And this is the E46 part. And it doesn't use the pin, it has some kind of different system, so these don't fit together like this. I need to figure out something for these. That was actually easier than I thought. So this one, E46, it basically has only this part. So I think if I just cut here, and then I can just put this like this, and it should work. So let's try that. It probably shortens the cable a little bit, but if I remember correctly, there's plenty of extra inside the cabin, so that should be okay. Okay, that should work. Yeah, just fine, so let's go with this. Okay, this is the situation now. These are basically now ready to be bolted onto the car. I also have the new BC Racing DS series coilovers waiting here, but this will be the last one to go on, so those are just waiting here. Then I also have the diff here, so this is the new diff that will go in. I have already sold basically all the other parts from that, because I have the new ratio there. There should be 3.73 ratio, and in the storage I should have all the other parts. Well, I think the bearings and so on are there. So basically I just need to throw that together. Well, I need to steal the LSD unit also for those, because this diff upgrade, this will include the LSD and sorter ratio that this car needs. And yeah, this diff was pretty horrible looking, but I did sandblast and paint that, so that should be fine. But yeah, I think all that will happen in the next episode. So this one is maybe a little bit shorter than normal. But yeah, let's finish up this in the next one. Oh, sorry, one more tip. I did just install this G-series USB-C charger port here. So this one, I think this was from the i4, and this fits perfectly E36 center console, as you can see. And that will nicely replace these stupid things that go in the cigarette lighter spot, so that's much nicer looking. It also has the backlight like that matches the E36 original, and it's actually pretty fast USB-C charger. So yeah, that's really good upgrade for E36. So that's one small tip before we end this video.